Thank you, Member. I now give the call to the member for Swan Hills.
Acting Speaker, thank you for the opportunity today to rise and deliver my inaugural address as the newly elected member for Swan Hills. May I begin by congratulating you on your appointment to your chair. I willingly acknowledge the Whadjuk Noongar people as the traditional owners of the land on which we meet. I pay my respects to elders past, present and emerging, and I honour their enduring connection to country. I reaffirm my commitment to walking alongside our First Nations people in truth, in partnership and with a deep respect. It is a profound honour to stand here today as one of 21 new members elected in 2025. Though we come from different walks of life and political backgrounds, we are united by a shared commitment to serve our communities and shape a stronger future for our state. To my fellow first-time members, it is a privilege to join you as a class of 2025, and I look forward to learning and growing together as we find our feet in this place. To my Labor colleagues, I look forward to drawing on your experience and insight. Thank you for welcoming me with such warmth and generosity. Coming into Parliament from outside the political world can be daunting, and at times it has been, but your support has made this transition much easier. I'm excited to be part of the Cook Labor team, and I look forward to working with you all. To the Premier, my sincere congratulations on the outcome of this recent election. The overwhelming support of the people of Western Australia was both humbling and galvanising. Premier, thank you for your bold, compassionate and forward-looking vision that we took to the people of Western Australia. It is a vision I proudly share, one that is grounded in hope and built on substance. A future made in WA, where we invest in our people, our schools, our infrastructure, and the opportunities that will shape our state for generations to come. A future where our children and their children are equipped to thrive in a rapidly evolving world. A future where no one is left behind. At the heart of everything I do and everything I will strive to do here, it is a simple belief that politics should be about people, about fairness and about building opportunity for all. Acting Speaker, I have called Western Australia home my entire life, a land of extraordinary diversity in landscape, in culture and in spirit. We are rich not only in our resources, but in resilience, creativity and community. Today I feel the immense privilege and the profound responsibility of helping to shape our state's future. To the people of Swan Hills, thank you. I am deeply grateful for the trust you have placed in me. I carry that trust with humility and with resolve. I promise to listen, to advocate and to act for every constituent in every corner of our electorate. Acting Speaker, Swan Hills is truly a remarkable place, broad in geography and rich in history, in character and in growth. From the vines of the Swan Valley, where generations of families have nurtured our state's renowned viticulture, to the rural heartlands of Gidgee Gannup and Upper Swan, where century-old schools like Herne Hill and Upper Swan Primary stand as living testaments to resilience and pride. Ours is a region of contrasts, tranquil bush blocks and wide open paddocks, bustling urban centres, and it's growing faster than ever. Ellenbrook and Averley, once seen as the new frontiers, are today vibrant, established communities, home to one of the youngest populations in our state, with a third of our people under the age of 18. Our community is pushing north to Bullsbrook, where the once quiet town is soon becoming a bustling suburban community. Swan Hills is a place shaped by children, by families, and by the spirit of community. And that community is the beating heart of our electorate. Through the campaign and well before it, in my work as partner at Carbon Swan Valley, as treasurer on our local sporting clubs, business associations and community groups, and as a parent, I've seen firsthand the depth of generosity, of resilience and quiet determination that defines the people of Swan Hills. From our many rate and resident associations to mental health initiatives like Ellenbrook Mile led by Robin Pickerel, to community organisations like the Sister Project under Tracy Cave, one thing shines through. When someone is in need, someone is always there to help. That, Acting Speaker, is the spirit of Swan Hills. It is a spirit built on connection, on care, and on the unshakable belief that we are stronger together. It is that spirit I am determined to champion here in this place. Our sporting clubs are not just fields of play, they are fields of belonging. Every weekend, Swan Hills comes alive with sport made possible only by the volunteers who give their time. I want to particularly acknowledge 3 outstanding community leaders at the mighty Ellenbrook Dockers, Jack Versace, Daniel Hilton and Nicole Golding. Their commitment has transformed our club into a model of diversity and inclusion, from creating opportunities for our girls' teams to establishing an outstanding program for players of all abilities, Star Kick. Because of their vision and their dedication, more young people, regardless of background, ability or circumstance, have the chance to belong, to play and to thrive. It has been my pleasure to work alongside you as Treasurer of the Ellenbrook Dockers and witness your work firsthand. This is the kind of leadership that strengthens communities. Acting Speaker, our PNCs are another cornerstone of our community, often working quietly, but always working powerfully. As a PNC President of 8 years, I see firsthand the dedication that makes these groups so special. They are not just fundraising committees. They are engines of community leadership, of collaboration, and of championing causes. Our PNC committees shape our schools and therefore our students, and their work should be celebrated. It was through my involvement at our school's PNC that I had the wonderful fortune of meeting Chelsea Bartle and Elise D'Angelo, who are here today, and Leanne Jeffrey, who is watching online. Chelsea, Elise and Lel, your friendship has been my rock through the best and the worst of times, and I thank you. Acting Speaker, across Swan Hills, a deep respect for service also endures. We are proud to be home to 2 vibrant RSL sub-branches in Ellenbrook and Bullsbrook, whose members work tirelessly to honour, support and remember our veterans. I'm particularly grateful to Stephen and June O'Neill, whose leadership of the Ellenbrook RSL has been nothing short of extraordinary. I want to take this moment to acknowledge the extraordinary individuals who made this journey to Parliament possible. First and foremost, I want to thank the former member for Swan Hills, Jessica Shaw, who is unwell and watching at home. I met Jess in 2019 at a small business and community showcase in Ellenbrook. Our booths were side by side, and what started as a casual conversation quickly turned into a spirited discussion about community and politics. I didn't know it then, but that chance encounter would change the course of my life. Jess encouraged me to step up, to explore how I could make a broader impact. It was Jess who first nudged me towards a run at local government, and when that chapter didn't quite go as planned, she introduced me to She Runs, a brilliant program supporting women into politics. Jess set the bar high, not just in the projects she delivered, but in the way she served. She was a fierce and passionate advocate, deeply woven into the fabric of the Swan Hills community, whether it was standing alongside residents during times of tragedy, fighting for causes that mattered, or working to deliver key projects. Jess gave her all. Everywhere we went during the campaign, I heard the same words: "You have big shoes to fill." But Jess never saw it that way. She told me to walk my own path with integrity and purpose. Jess, your unwavering support and guidance has been a source of strength I cannot overstate. Thank you for everything you have done for Swan Hills and for what you have done for me. I also want to thank someone truly remarkable, Anna Graham, my campaign manager. Anna is a force of nature, compassionate, capable, relentless in her optimism, and with a laugh that lights up every room she enters. From the very, very beginning, Anna was all in. She gave her time, her energy, and her whole heart to this campaign, and to the people in it. Your fierce commitment lifted me up on the hardest of days and grounded me on the best. I will never be able to convey how thankful I am for your friendship and belief in me, and I look forward to continuing this work together. To Denise Williams, what a whirlwind we dragged you into. I know that campaigning wasn't on your 2025 to-do list, but you leapt in with both feet, and I am so grateful that you did. Your contribution was immense, from the early days through to election day where you couldn't be with us because of the big C, and all the days since. I thank you. One of the greatest joys of this campaign was seeing just how many people, many for the first time, put their hands up to be a part of it, and I thank them all. Friends and family, neighbours, colleagues and members of our wider community who had never been involved in politics before, like me, who simply believed in me and what we stood for. People like May Feller. May became an Australian citizen last year and cast her first ever vote in this election. Not only did May and her partner Sam support me with their votes, but they volunteered their time on my campaign. She wrote to me, "After reading through each party's policies, I believe you and your party have our best interests at heart. May, your trust, your optimism and your willingness to dive headfirst into your very first election humbled me, and I thank you." To every volunteer, every supporter, every person who showed up, and there are too many to mention, I thank you. You made this possible. I do want to give special thanks to the main few who worked on pre-poll, which is an experience. John Purdy, Diane Kennedy, Zach Zakarenko, Michelle and Trevor Scorer, Patrick Graham, Glyn Lewis and Myron Sylvia. You stood with me, literally, in a garden bed on the edge of a car park, in blistering sun, in rain, through long days and even longer conversations. Your dedication to our cause, to our community and to me personally means more than I can ever say. So I thank you. I'd also like to take a moment to thank our Deputy Premier, Rita Saffioti, my local member, and someone who has been a strong supporter and member to me. I deeply admire your leadership as both Deputy Premier and as Treasurer. Through our work together in the PNC, I have seen firsthand your dedication, and I look forward to continuing our work together as neighbouring local members for the benefit of our community. Because there is absolutely no doubt our community has enormously benefited from you, Deputy Premier, and the work of our WA Labor government. Nowhere was that more evident than the first day that the Ellenbrook line officially opened. I had the pleasure of attending that momentous occasion, and the excitement and gratitude from the community was palpable. For decades, the people of Swan Hills had been promised a train line, and they had been disappointed time and time again. Families bought homes on that promise, they clung to that hope, and they waited far too long. It wasn't until our Labor government came to power that the Ellenbrook train line finally became a reality. That line has transformed the northeastern corridor of Perth and made a tangible daily difference to so many lives. I am incredibly proud to be part of a government that not only listens, but shows up, follows through and delivers. Acting Speaker, while this may be my first formal speech as the member for Swan Hills, it is not actually the first time I have spoken in this chamber. In 1999, as a bright-eyed Year 9 student from Mirrabooka Senior High School, I stood here, well actually where the Leader of the National sits, as part of a centenary of women's suffrage student parliament representing the electorate of Nullamara. That experience left an indelible mark on me. I remembered the grandeur of this place, the sense of history thick in the air, and I remembered the hushed awe as we walked its corridors. And I remember vividly catching the sight of Premier Richard Court as he strolled past and feeling a jolt of realisation that those we see on TV, the people who make decisions that shape our lives, are not so far removed from us after all. That moment made politics real to me, not something distant or unreachable, but something tangible and personal. It planted a seed I could not yet name, but one that would quietly grow over the years. Like so many families in Swan Hills and across Western Australia, mine was deeply shaped by our public systems. We went to public schools. We relied on our public health care. Until the age of about 3, when my family got their first car, we went on public transport. From a young age, I learned not in theory but in practice that the decisions made in this place matter. They are felt in our homes, in our classrooms, in our hospital wards and on our buses. That student parliament taught me another vital truth, that the power to shape our world doesn't lie solely in those who govern, but in the people who choose to participate. Like the women who fought a century ago for the right to vote, who stood their ground in the face of extraordinary barriers, we are reminded that each of us can be part of building a better, fairer future. During that student parliament, I delivered a speech thanking the healthcare workers who had cared for my grandfather after he suffered a stroke in the months prior. Even then, as a teenager, I recognised the extraordinary compassion, skill and strength of our nurses and doctors. That gratitude has never left me. Our frontline workers are the backbone of our health system. They held our communities together at our most vulnerable times. And after I finished that speech, I looked to the speakers gallery, and there they were. My mother, Susan Swart, and my grandfather, Norman Stevens, sitting side by side. He had been discharged from hospital just in time to come and see me speak, a surprise my mum had kept secret. It is a moment etched in my memory. My grandfather passed away in 2007, but today as I speak again in this place, I am sure he is watching and smiling. He would have loved this. And I am honoured that my mum is once again here in the gallery, just as she was all those years ago, to watch my first speech. Whew. Acting Speaker, my mum is the biggest reason I stand here today. I am the daughter of a Dutch migrant and an Aussie battler. We grew up in Balcatta. From when I was 4 years old, it was just mum, my older sister Joanne Dowsey and I. A tight little trio held together by mum's strength. Though our household was small, we had wonderful support. My grandparents, Norman, Joe and Stephen, lived closely by in Illamara. What we lacked in quantity, we more than sure made up for in quality. Mum was the canteen volunteer mum, the help mum, the one always on excursions, at assemblies, in the audience at every performance. She was always there and she cheered the loudest. She worked 2 jobs while I was growing up, as a gardener at the local kindergarten in the mornings and in the afternoons as a checkout operator at Coles. 24 years later, approaching 70 years of age, Mum still works at Coles 3 days per week. She gave everything she had to ensure Joanne and I had the opportunities we needed, even though times were tough. May I please have a short extension?
Extension granted.
Thank you. Looking back now, through the lens of motherhood myself, I can see just how much of herself she poured into those years. As a sole parent of 2 daughters, one with medical needs, there were times it must have been incredibly hard, but she never made us feel it. She persevered, quietly and fiercely, raising 2 strong-willed daughters who learned that love shows up in car rides, in packed lunches, and in unwavering support. She shielded us from her burdens and we grew up feeling secure, loved and capable of anything. But that doesn't mean we were without our challenges. Life as a sole parent is tough and Mum did her best to make sure we had to make the most of what we had. However, I still remember the day she told me we couldn't afford dance lessons anymore. I was devastated at the time, but now with a 13-year-old daughter of my own, I understand just how much harder that conversation must have been for her to deliver than for me to receive. It wasn't just about missing an activity, it was about the heartbreak of being unable to give your child something they love. Back then, there were no kids' sport vouchers. That is why I'm so immensely proud to be part of a government that recognises the power of support, not just in grand gestures, but in everyday life. Programs like Kids Sport, the WA Student Assistance Payment, the subsidies for the zoo and the Royal Show, they matter. They are not sugar hits. They are lifelines to our WA families. These programs mean that maybe, just maybe, a parent doesn't have to have that painful conversation, that families can say yes instead of explaining why they have to say no. These initiatives offer more than financial relief, they offer dignity, they offer opportunity, and they offer hope. And I know from experience how much that truly matters. Acting Speaker, when I was in Year 6, Mum moved me to Illamara Primary School after being horrendously bullied at my previous school. I was 11 years old, too young to understand why I didn't fit, why I was a target, why I was taunted, excluded, and at times physically hurt. Bullying leaves a mark. It cuts deep into a child's sense of safety and self-worth, and it can shape the way you see yourself and the world around you. That experience has never left me. It's one of the reasons I am so fiercely passionate about every person, especially every child, being treated with dignity, with kindness and with respect. It's why I believe so deeply in building safe, inclusive schools where no one is made to feel excluded, unsafe or less. Life was hard enough for kids in the 90s, but today's children face challenges we could never have imagined. The bullying doesn't stop when the final bell rings. It follows them home, through phones and group chats and a relentless stream of social media. And as a parent of a teenager, I can tell you that's terrifying. We must tackle this together as parents, teachers, community leaders and as a government. We need to teach not only resilience but empathy. We need to build a culture where respect is the baseline, online and offline, in both our adults and our young people. Because no child, no person should ever feel invisible or unsafe simply for being who they are. And yet, painful as that time was, it also changed the course of my life in ways I could never have predicted. Moving schools led me to Mirrabooka Senior High School, and it was there that I met Brian Maynard, my future husband. Brian and I found each other at a young age, 13. We connected over a shared belief that the circumstances that life hands you don't define your future. You can change it if you work hard. We believed that with determination we could build something better for ourselves and one day for our family. Brian completed his Boilermaker trade through TAFE. I became the first person in my family to finish high school and sit TEE. I had dreams of becoming a lawyer, dreams built on the simple but powerful belief that hard work would open doors for me. When the Australian Taxation Office offered me a cadetship, a paid job and a fully funded Bachelor of Taxation through the University of New South Wales, by correspondence, I grabbed it with both hands. It wasn't the path that I had imagined, but it was an extraordinary opportunity, and for a family like mine, a secure income and a fully paid degree was priceless. It's why I applaud our government's fee-free TAFE initiatives. A free education can change people's lives. Our 20s were filled with the milestones that shape a life. We bought our first home through Key Start, we got married, we welcomed our daughter Charlotte, I transitioned into public practice, became a chartered accountant and found my passion in supporting small businesses, the beating heart of our economy. Like many West Australian families, we entered the world of fly in, fly out, and our family was made complete in 2016 with the arrival of our son Noah. We built a great life off the back of hard work and the foundation that a solid public system granted us. But my journey back into the workforce after becoming a mother opened my eyes to another reality, that for women, especially mothers, the barriers are still far too real. I encountered judgment, inflexibility and outdated assumptions about what working mothers can and should be. It was disheartening and it was devastating. The barriers we face, both before and after becoming mothers, are real, and Lord, they are exhausting. In our home, Brian and I believe in true partnership. There are no roles in our family. We work together, we support each other, we lift each other up. Our children see that, and I hope they grow up expecting nothing less. It is this lived experience that drives my commitment to be a voice for working parents, especially working mothers, in this place. After those difficult experiences, I made a decision that changed my life. I joined Carbon Group, then a small, ambitious WA firm, as a partner. With the incredible support of Nathan Hood, Mason Dunn, Steve White and Clinton Gibson, I found more than just another professional services firm. I found good people, a strong support system and a workplace that actively chose to trust, empower and uplift its team. With their backing, I built something I'm incredibly proud of. A thriving business, yes, but more importantly an office staffed entirely by primary caregivers, the majority of them women, who are given the flexibility and trust to do their work on their terms. We proved that being present for your family and being excellent at your job are not mutually exclusive. We showed that when you invest in your people, the returns go far beyond the bottom line. A people-first culture builds loyalty, lifts performance and creates the kind of workplace where everyone can thrive. It pays dividends. Today, Carbon is a national firm with over 300 team members and currently ranked 29th in the Australian Financial Review Top 100 and is growing rapidly, a real WA success story. Being part of the Carbon family gave me more than just a career. You backed me, you believed in me, and because of that I found my confidence and grew into a leader in our industry. And when the call to public service came, you didn't waver in your support of me. You stood by me, even knowing it would mean that my time at Carbon would end. That says everything about who all of you are and what Carbon stands for, and I am eternally grateful. I'd like to mention that sadly last week Carbon lost one of its finest, Dominic Papaluca, after a short, brave battle with cancer. Dom was more than a colleague, he was a mentor, a friend, a guide, and his absence will be deeply felt. My 20-year professional life gave me more than technical expertise. It gave me a deep, real-world insight into the opportunities and challenges faced by families, workers and business owners every day. For many years I had the privilege of standing beside people who poured their hearts into businesses, people who turned dreams into livelihoods, who took risks and who built opportunity from the ground up. I saw firsthand how policy decisions made in this place have far-reaching effects, both impacting and impeding businesses and their ability to grow, to hire and to thrive. For the past 5 years, I have been a finance expert in national media, helping industry and everyday Australians make sense of complex economic issues. That experience taught me the power of communication, that it's not enough that we make good decisions here. We must also explain them clearly, openly and honestly to the people we serve. My professional background will give me the ability to cast a financial lens over the decisions made in this place, but I also understand deeply that behind every budget line and every policy decision, there are people that are affected. I'm proud to be part of a government that balances economic responsibility with compassion, delivering strong financial management alongside outcomes that genuinely uplift our communities. Acting Speaker, today I want to honour someone who made an extraordinary difference in my life and the life of so many others. Through my work with the P&C, I had the immense privilege of knowing Jane Scorer, Associate Principal at Balladura Primary. Jane was a fierce advocate for her students and a passionate champion of reading. She was also my dear friend. Jane created a student-led reading academy where confident readers mentored those who were struggling, lifting literacy, but even more importantly, building pride, belonging, and a love of learning in her students. It was a program that made a lasting impact on my niece, Georgia Moody, when she joined Balladura in Year 3. The change in her learning was immediate, and 8 years on, that impact remains. Just this week, we were deep in political discussion around the dinner table, and sitting across from me was a confident, thoughtful and articulate young woman. Jane, your legacy was on full display, and I know you would have been proud of Georgia as I was. Jane was taken from us far too soon after suffering a brain aneurysm at school in 2021. The grief that swept through our community and far beyond was profound, a true testament to the impact she made and the person that she was. I am not sure I have truly ever gotten over her loss. Jane, since that day, I have tried in my own small way to honour your legacy, to speak your name, to keep your spirit and determination alive. You shaped how I lead and how I advocate. You taught me that genuine change happens when we meet people where they are without judgment, and when we act with kindness, determination and courage. You taught me the power of creating a community that helps lift others up, and your passing showed me to never take anything or anyone for granted. I carry your lessons with me into this Parliament, and they'll help guide me every day in my work as a representative of this community. I am here today because of the love, support and belief of those closest to me. Mum, thank you. Thank you for being my constant, my anchor, my encourager and my example. You stood behind me and more often right beside me every step of the way, reminding me to reach higher, to dream bigger and to never fear falling. Every opportunity I have today is built on the foundation that you gave me, and all that I am I owe to you. And I hope today you feel as proud as I am grateful, because this moment belongs to you too. Brian, not many people find their person in high school, but we did. For the past 27 years, we have built an amazing life together, through every challenge, every triumph, every late night conversation about what comes next. When this opportunity came along, you were rightly cautious, but overwhelmingly supportive. You told me to go for it, and I did, because I knew you were with me in every sense of the word. Every step, every sacrifice, every success, you are my partner. Your quiet strength has lifted me higher than I ever thought I could go, and I love you. Charlotte and Noah, our beautiful children. No matter what titles I hold, being your mum will always be my favourite one. You are the heart of everything I do. Thank you for your patience, your understanding, and your endless love, even when things got busy and strange and a little chaotic. I know that there will be moments in this new journey that will be hard, missed dinners and long days, and times where I can't be everywhere that I want to be. But I promise you, I will keep showing up for you and because of you. You inspire me every single day to be better, to do better, to fight harder for a future that is worthy of you. I hope this inspires you to chase your dreams, to aim high, and to relentlessly pursue whatever lights you up. I love you both. So what do I hope to achieve during my time in this place while I have the privilege of representing the people of Swan Hills? Swan Hills is a growing, dynamic community. With that growth comes the need for strong investment in infrastructure and in services, and that requires a local member who shows up, listens and works to get things done. I intend to be that member. I'm eager to get started, from delivering the big transformative projects in our election commitments to addressing the everyday issues that matter most to our community. My commitment is simple. I will work hard, stay grounded in our community, and never stop advocating for the people who place their trust in me. I am filled with hope for what lies ahead, not just for Swan Hills, but for our great state. Thank you for entrusting me with this opportunity. I will not waste a minute of it. Thank you.
Congratulations. It was wonderful. Hit the full 32. Well done.
I know, I got through it.
Beautiful. Congratulations. That was fantastic.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Congratulations. Well done.
Hey, that was amazing.
Members, member for Midland, I'm just going to acknowledge some members in the gallery if you'd like to take your seat first. Thank you. Members, I'd like to acknowledge some former members of Parliament who are in the gallery this evening. Members, I'd like to acknowledge the Honourable Michelle Roberts, former Speaker and first female Speaker of the House. I'd like to acknowledge Nick Catania, former member for Balcatta. I'd like to acknowledge Vince Catania, former member for the North West Central. And also acknowledge Simon Millman, former member for Mount Lawley.